Then another hat that you wear is you also have a booming social media business. Tell me a little bit about your company and what you do.
So, FireFox Media is a social media consulting company, and what we do is we basically create content. We we will blog for companies. We will also manage their social media platforms. But basically, what we do is we take the stress away from companies, and we allow them to grow through their social media while they go out and they do what they love doing best. Leave the stuff, the tedious stuff to us.
Yeah. Awesome. What projects do you have on the go right now?
So right now I'm actually in the midst of organizing a workshop for another group of realtors. I'm not going to give their name right now.
Of course, yeah.
And then I'm also working with three different companies where I'm actually teaching them how to use social media.
Wow.
So it's kind of cool.
What type of social media platforms are you?
So I focus mainly on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Those are my primary focuses.
There's some really interesting trends that are coming up in social media. I know just through my own research and what I do on social media, especially with the video stuff. But what kind of trends do you see that you're kind of noticing right now that you're following and that you are leveraging right now in your own business?
So, I mean, one of them is actually giving back. Now, a lot of people, businesses have changed their models, a lot of their businesses, where they're giving back. I'm not giving back because of that, but it's just something that has always been a part of me.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. I align perfectly well. Another trend is, being heart centered.
Okay.
And that is something that's huge. So you bring your spiritual aspect to it, but there's not that also that hard sense, but there's that relationship building.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about this. Let's go. I want to dig deep because this is something that's really
Okay.
important to me too. So, let's talk about the hard side of the business. What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, you want to do business with people who you trust, who you know. You don't want to be doing business with, someone who you know is going to turn around and walk the other way as soon as they see something better.
Yeah.
I've actually had that happen.
Wow.
Which I mean, it wasn't the best of experience, but it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
So I do want to try. I work with people who I trust and I know.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, likewise. I mean, that's one of the catchphrases in business and entrepreneurship is we want to work with people and people want to work with us. And we know, like, and trust, right? Those are the three common denominators of what makes a successful relationship. And what I really like, what you're saying here, is a big part of who I am as an individual as well as my company and what I like to set up in just my coaching practice is creating conscious businesses. Now, this is something that's quite new. To the business world, but it's getting a lot of strength. A lot of companies are becoming conscious companies. A lot of companies are giving back. Like some of the big name companies, the software giants, and yeah, even like companies like Facebook and Google and those bigger names. They're actually creating programs to give back and become conscious, and they're also doing it with their employees too, which is so phenomenal. This is a trend. Now, how would you help a company become conscious, I guess?
So basically, one, it's language,
Mm.
right? I mean, you don't want to be seeing like all this vulgar language online or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also encouraging them to stand for a cause,
Mm.
or even if they give back a little bit, whether it be advice, whether it be help, in any way, they've made a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that we talked about this as well. One thing that you just said there that's a really good point is giving advice, and offering some of your services and content for free. I think is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we talked about this when we met. It's just it's so great. It's like for me as a coach and you with your services as well. It's like giving people a little bit of advice and just guidance and mentorship. Just it actually in return it gives us a lot much more back. Just not only personally, but it also gives us more business, does it
Yeah,
not?
it does.
Yeah.
But and also it ignites some hope, and
Yeah.
it ignites something that you probably never thought of, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if I've just spoken to if I just had a conversation with you, and I mentioned something and you never even thought of, but it's like, hey, wait a second, something has sparked, right? So
Yeah.
now they can then turn around and then help. And then again, business is coming because it's word of mouth, because they know that they can trust you.
Absolutely. It does build that rapport and trust
It
with your
does.
customers big time. And I'm sure you've seen it with some of the companies you work with who are giving that type of content away. What are some of the results that you've seen out of doing that model?
With the content marketing, with giving the
Yeah, giving away some of the freemium stuff, giving away some advice, and whatnot. What are some of the returns you've seen on
well,
that?
one, I mean, like I said many times, it's built trust,
Yeah,
a relationship. But not only that, but I mean, you're actually able, when you're working with your clients, you're able to work freely with them.
yeah.
There's no behind the scenes. It's all authentic. It's all real. And that way you can even build a better relationship with them, which is really nice.
Yeah, authenticity is something that's been really missing in the business world for quite a long
Yeah.
time. And with this conscious movement, what I'm really seeing is authenticity really coming back into our lives, right? Where we're building relationships that are very fruitful. And I love that. One of the people that I love following is Brene Brown, and I just love her concepts on being authentic and being real.
Mhm.
So I'm really glad that this is in our business. So why